You tell yourself it's harmless. You tell yourself it's natural. You tell yourself it's just a moment of escape at the end of a long day. But deep down, somewhere between the silence of your room and the glowing screen in your hand, you've wondered the same question every guy has asked at least once in his life: is this slowing me down? Today we're going to break the illusion, not with shame or superstition, but with the truth most people never hear. Because this isn't about morality, this is about discipline, focus, energy, and the kind of man you're becoming. Everyone has lived this cycle. One moment you feel motivated, powerful, ready to take control of your life. And a few hours later you're lying in bed, scrolling, drained, and telling yourself you'll start fresh tomorrow. You look in the mirror the next morning and can't tell whether you're tired, unmotivated, or just losing momentum without noticing. And then the fear comes in. Did I just ruin my progress? The truth is, the problem isn't what you think it is. It's not the physical act that kills your progress. It's the mental chain reaction that comes after. Let's start with the science nobody explains clearly. After releasing, your testosterone doesn't fall off a cliff. It drops slightly for a few hours and then goes right back to your baseline. You don't lose muscle. You don't lose strength. You don't erase a week of progress with one decision. Your body isn't fragile, it recalibrates. The real damage happens somewhere else, in your focus, your reward system, your habits, and your ability to control your own mind. And that's what separates the men who grow from the men who stay stuck. Because here's what really happens. Every time you chase quick pleasure, your brain releases dopamine, fast, intense, and temporary. It's not evil. It's not dirty, but it is powerful. It trains your mind to crave comfort instead of challenge, release instead of resistance. The more often you trigger it, the more your brain adjusts. What used to feel exciting becomes normal, and what used to feel motivating, like working out, reading, building your future, suddenly feels harder than it should. Not because you're weak, but because your brain is adapting to instant gratification instead of effort-based reward. And over time, something subtle happens. You stop choosing. You start reacting. You stop being intentional. You fall into autopilot, doing the same things every night, scrolling through the same screens, losing the same battles without even realizing it. Your problem isn't addiction, it's disconnection. You're losing the ability to direct your energy toward things that matter. And you don't notice the change because it happens silently. One night at a time. Then there's prolactin, the hormone that hits after release and puts your body into relaxation mode. It makes you calm, sleepy, and less driven. Again, not a problem if it happens occasionally. But if you trigger that state over and over, especially before you're supposed to train, study, or create, you're basically turning off your drive on purpose. You're hitting the relax switch at the exact moment your life needs you awake. That's why some guys feel sluggish, unfocused, or unmotivated after doing it too often. Their biology isn't broken. Their timing is. The real issue behind all of this isn't the act. It's the lack of intention. Most guys don't do it because they truly want to. They do it because they're bored, lonely, stressed, or avoiding something. It becomes routine, mindless, something you do just because you've always done it. And anytime your habits run your life instead of you, your progress slows down. Not because you're weak, but because you've stopped choosing your direction, and that's where discipline comes in. Not the kind of discipline where you punish yourself or try to be perfect. Real discipline is awareness. It's the ability to recognize when you're using pleasure to avoid responsibility. It's understanding that your energy can either build your future or comfort your present, and you need to decide where it goes. Here's the truth no one tells you. You don't need to never do it again. That's unrealistic for most men and unnecessary. What you need is control. You need intention. You need the ability to decide when pleasure is part of your life and when it's becoming an obstacle. Think of it like this. The same energy that pushes you toward temptation is the same energy that fuels your ambition, your strength, your creativity, and your hunger for growth. If you train it, direct it, and use it with purpose, it becomes power. If you waste it mindlessly, it becomes noise. So what does control actually look like? It looks like not doing it before the gym because you know your drive will drop. It looks like cutting back when you're feeling unfocused, not as punishment but as strategy. It looks like turning off your phone at night so you can actually sleep, recover, and wake up ready to attack your goals. It looks like choosing your actions, not running from yourself. Because the strongest men aren't the ones who suppress desire, they're the ones who master it. They don't fear their impulses. They understand them. They use them. They channel them. They don't fall into shame cycles or guilt. They simply ask themselves one question: is this helping me become the man I want to be? And if the answer is no, they adjust. The danger was never masturbation. The danger was losing your direction, losing your fire, losing your hunger, losing the edge that comes from building momentum and protecting your focus. Your progress doesn't die in one decision. It dies in the 1,000 small choices you stop paying attention to. So if you've ever felt stuck, unfocused, or like your motivation comes and goes, this is your moment to reset. Not out of shame. Out of clarity. Out of power. Out of the desire to take ownership of your life instead of hiding from it. Because nothing you've done has erased your potential. Nothing has taken away your ability to rise. Nothing has stopped you from becoming unrecognizable in 1 year. Unless you let it. And if you want to start that transformation right now, watch the previous video on the channel. Your life could look unrecognizable in 1 year. It's the blueprint for rebuilding your identity, rewiring your habits, and taking complete control of your direction. Pair that video with the mindset from this one, and you'll have the foundation for real, permanent growth. If this resonated with you, drop a "I'm in control" in the comments so I know you're not running on autopilot anymore. Let's build the strongest version of you, one intentional choice at a time.